Welcome. Today I will be paraphrasing, summarizing, and sharing for the January 24th Al-Anon readings in Courage to Change and a Little Time for Myself. We'll begin with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Just take a minute. I opened right to the page. It's pretty cool. Just take a minute to look this over. The question of the day is, how has reading conference-approved literature affected my recovery? Well, considering that I make videos every single day about 2 daily readers, I think that I can say that reading conference-approved literature has affected my recovery in a very positive way. The passage talks about this person who attended Al-Anon meetings for years. They had a sponsor, but they did not work the steps. They did not feel very well versed in the conference approved literature. So eventually, based on their sponsor, I guess they decided to start looking through the steps. And when they got to the last 3 steps, they realized that they really needed additional conference approved literature as a resource. They wanted to look further into conference approved literature. They wanted to go to a meeting to explore it further, but they couldn't find one. So this person actually started their own. And they have found that it's been a wonderful way to share conference approved literature with others. Today's reminder that conference approved literature, excuse me, my nose is itchy, also known as CAL, shares a special bond with other members. And we're reminded that we're not alone. And the quote is from Discovering Choices, Recovery and Relationships. And it's talking about the huge resource that we have with Al-Anon literature, and it's so true. And I do completely wholeheartedly agree that it definitely helps me to feel connected because I can connect with, I would say, 99.9% of the readings. I would say possibly even 100%. There are some readings, it's so funny because one year I'll go through the readings. This is a reading every day of the year, but I'll go through a reading and I'll say, take it or leave it. Glad I read it, but, nothing really sparks anything for me there. But then I'll read it the next year and I'll think, wow, what an amazing reading. So it's kind of funny that way. But I do truly love and appreciate conference-approved literature. And it's expensive because of the shipping, but I know from my time as a very short time as a group rep and an alternate group rep that I was an alternate group rep for a longer time, but I know from that time that it's much better for Al-Anon if you buy your conference-approved literature directly from them, but their shipping is expensive. So, like, I don't know, this book cost me like $20 or $30 to get it to my house. Worth it. I read it every day. I'll read it probably for the rest of my life. So look at it that way. Worth it. All right, did not open to the page this time. All right, I'm gonna take a minute to look this over. I love this page. Ah, I love this. This is about being ourselves, being true to ourselves, not making excuses that no is a complete sentence. If we don't want to do something, we can say, I'm not able to do that. We don't have to go into a big explanation. We'll be honest with ourselves. We won't pretend to feel something that we don't feel or pretend to want to do something that we don't want to do. And Al-Anon doesn't tell us what to do, but it does encourage us to look at ourselves, our feelings, our motives, to be honest with who we are. Today's reminder that it's healthy for us not to hide our desires and our feelings from ourselves. It's important to be honest with ourselves. And famous from William Shakespeare, I think I can read the whole thing because I've seen this everywhere. This above all, to thine own self be true. A great reminder. I don't have any markings on this page. I think it's just one of those like, yeah, totally. It's a great reminder. And it's more common now that this is the way I live my life on a daily basis. I think I do things, well, I guess it doesn't matter what other people think, but tonight, going to a concert with some very good friends, me and my partner and two of our very, very close friends, and we were going to go out to a restaurant, and instead our friends said, come over to our house, we'll order in. And that works great. That works much, much better for me because I don't like to eat dinner. I just feel better when I don't eat dinner. So they decided they were going to get Greek food or Lebanese. I don't know. I think it was Lebanese. In any case, I really like Lebanese, but not for dinner, for lunch. So my partner said, do you want grape leaves? And I said, no thanks. I'm not going to have anything. And he said, so what am I supposed to do? I'm going to text them and say that you don't want anything? And I said, yeah, just tell them I'm good. They know I don't eat dinner. It's just like being who I am. I'm not telling anyone else what to do. I just am doing what is comfortable for me. And if I went to the restaurant, I would have ordered something and I probably would have been, it would have been okay, but I wouldn't have felt as comfortable as if I just didn't eat dinner, which is what I normally do. So I'm just so happy that we're going to our friend's house and I don't have to eat dinner. And I'm always trying to navigate things like that, just being who I am, just doing what works for me and not being as concerned about what other people's reaction is going to be. I'm not telling other people what to do, so and I'm not letting them, well, I guess I have to be careful what I say about this, huh? Like, I'm not letting them make me feel uncomfortable. But then again, I don't know how much other people are doing to make me feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, maybe if people just did what satisfied them, then I would say, ooh, I don't like this. I don't know. It's possible. I don't know. I guess that's where really clear communication comes in. That's really important. Really important. Like if I said to my, like I've had this conversation with my partner before, like, do you want me to get grape leaves? Will it make you feel better if I get grape leaves? He'd be like, I don't care. I don't care what you don't want anything, don't get anything. That's what I'm doing. Anyway, we'll close out with the serenity prayer and three mindful breaths. Here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Sending you love. Take care.